It's a fire going.
Let's talk about it. You know what it's about.
There you go.
Oh, 101 backers. Yes.
Yay, we just
Love it.
crossed
You'll love to
100
see it.
backers. Yeah, we started one of our hottest starts in a while and then kind of cooled off over the weekend, but I understand,
As
you know,
usual.
existential dread is
You know, you were
rampant.
like a quarter of the way funded in like the first 3 hours or something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I kept refreshing your
sitting
page.
pretty
'cause,
good,
like,
but
I
It
didn't
was
wanna
like
refresh mine.
zooming, and I was like, damn.
yeah, I was excited about the start. But, you know, usually the people's come back. We have quite a few amazing returning backers. So we are back on Kickstarter. Last year we had a temporary love affair with Zoop, but we have heard the calls of our crowdfunding participants, and we are back on Kickstarter for the foreseeable future. But we got Drumsticks of Doom banned on the Silver Mountain, number 2 of 3. So just to catch people up, this is the second arc. We're doing the Hellboy series of miniseries, so you can jump in at any time. But of course, we have all the previous issues, including all of Volume 1. And yeah, Lana and her band are off to the mysterious Silver Mountain to record their album. Of course, the first arc was getting the band together, and naturally, what do you do next? You go record your album, and then hopefully in the final arc, you go on tour. So it's planned to be 3 arcs, and we're right here in the middle of it.
So wait, you guys are actually making the music for this?
Dan and I have talked about it quite a bit. Dan is a working musician, Dan Doherty, my co-creator and wonderful artist.
Mhm.
We have not yet. Maybe for the omnibus or something, we'll finally make a theme song. We've made a soundtrack of bands he and I have been in, and other people who've contributed to the book have been in. We did that for the launch, but no original music yet. That is definitely something I know. I have some peers like Matt and Steph from In Symmetry Creations. They do their own original music for their books. I am super jealous of that. It's just not in the cards for Dan and I right now.
Like making the comic is hard enough. Y'all gotta put music and stuff to it too. It's a lot.
I've seen some comics with theme songs, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I know. George O'Connor does a lot of theme songs for people.
Yep.
And I love that kind of stuff. And I love music themed comics, and when people have their own soundtracks and stuff like that, it's definitely a goal. But for right now, not able to put it together.
It's funny.
We did hide some QR codes in the book, but I didn't get a ton of feedback. It was not,
interesting,
not copyrighted music to us, but was kind of just hiding some in the book to see if people would kind of play it along with the comic. But I didn't get much feedback on that.
That's a great idea. Have you pointed it out to people that here's a QR code, scan it, and you can read along with the song?
I like to think it's pretty obvious. Usually on the front cover, there's a QR code, and it's got a little page turn symbol trying to indicate to people. But I guess I need to be much clearer in my.
Yeah, you need to do some hand holding here.
Play this now.
Hey, John, you mentioned Zoop. I mean, I know you guys were on Kickstarter for most or all of the first arc. What was your Zoop experience like? I mean, I'm curious as a Kickstarter guy myself. So
yeah, well, I appreciate the question. We I approached Zoop because my hope after we did the trade paperback early last year around this time that we could kind of do a secondary launch there. It didn't quite get where we needed it to, and I thought, well, maybe Zoop's like a different audience, and so I sent them an email and said we'd like to launch this, and they said, well, if you've already launched another crowdfunder, we'll be honest with you, a lot of people cross-pollinate to them all, so we probably wouldn't want you to feel like you do a secondary huge launch here or anything. But they said we really like the book and we're very interested in launching a new issue, and we had an idea for we did a stuffed animal last year.
Oh, that's right. The stuffed
Yes.
animal. Love the stuffed animal.
They were very excited about that, and kind of, they were talking with some people about other merchandise, like their comics only. Zoop is 100% comics, but they also want to do comics related merchandise. Like we happened to launch at the same time as Tim Seeley was doing a hack/slash board game and this. So it was just really cool that they were very excited. They were very willing to work with us. I said, listen, we're not going to bring 10,000 fans. We're not Jeff Lemire. We just have to be honest with you. So I don't want to waste your time. You tell me what you honestly need, what the rate cut is for you, and then we'll decide. They were very amicable to what worked for us. They said typically Zoop, though, if you do have a built-in audience, they can do everything for you. They do. You send them the images and what you really want. They set it all up behind the scenes. They can do fulfillment for a fee. They can do printing for a fee. They can do it all. So in that regard, I think going forward in the future, I think it's an awesome place. And again, it's comics only. So, we were on there with, like I said, Tim Seeley and some other great books. So it's really cool to be like, this is comics only crowdfunding. Come here for comics. Other people looking at these products will see ours. You're not in like a sea of 10,000 other products like Kickstarter, right? So that was really cool. And again, I said to him, well, we don't really need the full service. I can do fulfillment myself. I've been doing it for years. If the campaign blows up and we get 500 backers, we're happy to work with you. And again, they were just really great. The whole process, they were, it didn't end up working out where we wanted it to. We ended up having to launch a secondary Kickstarter because we found out, people are loyal to their crowdfunding sites that they've been with for a while. We get that. So it didn't really get to where we wanted to, but I think it was a cool experience, and I do love to share it with people who are considering using Zoop. I think if you have a built-in audience, like, a Charles Stickney or somebody like that, who could just port it over there, I think it's the place that I would want to be in the future as far as how much they interact with you and how much they answer questions and help you behind the scenes and do all that stuff that bogs us down that we don't want to be doing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool.
So it was cool, man. But back on Kickstarter.
I get not wanting to switch platforms though, because it's like I have to put my credit card information here. I have to put it there. It's floating around everywhere. Then it's like, oh no, this is
at least one person
like,
personally reached out to me to tell me that. And at first I was like, what? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then I realized, no, that's actually smart. Like, not everybody should be like me, where I'm just throwing my shit all over the internet. As a matter of fact, I got freaking scammed by accidentally clicked the wrong link on Facebook the other day and had to shut down my credit card. So I definitely, after I realized it, I was like, you know what? That's smart. Don't put your shit all over the internet.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like T-Mobile of all places, like a year after I had canceled my account with them, had like leaked my social security number to the dark web. And I'm just like, oh, that's wonderful.
Jesus.
Because they keep
I definitely get it. I mean, a lot of them do use the same payment system. So if you are using it, just so people know, they use Stripe just like Kickstarter. So it'll be in the same interface, but I get it. Not people, and they were very nice. Hey, when you come back to Kickstarter, and I was like, hey, we sell it on our website. You can just buy it there, but they didn't. People don't buy it through your own website.
No, people never buy through your website. They're like, all right, I'll do it later, and then they just never do.
Something about that.
It's so funny though, because you figure they go to the website because it's directly to you.
They need the fear of missing out pressure of like the time limit, where it's like back this before time runs out, and then everyone's like, oh, I gotta get it. Otherwise, if you give people like an infinite amount of time to get something, they're like, yeah, I'll get it later. It is
so funny. When we get that website order, it's like the holy grail. Like, yes, somebody finally ordered direct.
Yeah, even if it's like a $5 digital, you're just like, oh my god, yeah, I won the lotto, guys.
That's something that Kickstarter does really great. That 48-hour notice and then the 8-hour notice. Yeah. I mean, they figured out, how to really push that stuff out, and that's really cool.
And every campaign, we always get the casual browsers. We'll get 5 to 10, have never backed us before. And Kickstarter just has that ecosystem that other places will maybe never catch up to. So, yeah, it's definitely still the place to be for small press.
One thing that's pretty cool, and I notice this just from being late sometimes, but like if you don't have the funds on the date that the campaign is over, they give you an extra 7 days.
Yeah, they do.
They usually give 2 weeks. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They give you time.
Yeah,
It's like, don't worry about it. We'll keep trying until it works.
Yeah, and there's late backing now too, right? I think you can have
now.
Yep. We started that this summer and have gotten a couple stragglers who missed it, so that's nice.
Oh, I was
they're coming up with all kinds of good stuff. The importing add-ons and stuff like that is now in there. That's amazing.
Absolute lifesaver. Lifesaver. Why they didn't do that before.
Yeah. So I think now that there is so many sites out there, they're kind of feeling the pressure to, keep people around. So, and that's good. That's good competition. So
dude, that is some schedule you got over here.
Yeah, we did 5 books the last couple of years, and I said, yeah, screw it. Let's do 5 again this year. Before the, planet burns up.
Like someone had said for a guy that calls himself part-time comics, he sure is on Kickstarter a lot.
And then I told you that I started the company and I gave it that name to put limits on myself, but it didn't work.
No, it never does. It's
Yeah,
an
but
addiction.
5 books, you know,
already got
there's
this
other
ready
people
for the
doing.
next campaign. Look at that.
I know people who do 6 to 10 books. You know, it's fine. Speaking of which, LCS number 2 will be coming out in March, and then you probably saw on the schedule too. We should talk about here. If you haven't heard, Matta and I will be doing the final issue of Child Possession Services together. We are wrapping up the series in approximately May of this year as well. So yeah.
Yep.
And we're doing the Hold My Shipping program. So if anybody was hesitant to back because they want to back other things later, you know, you can back now. You can choose to hold your shipping. I'll refund your shipping after the campaign, and then I'll hold it. I think last year we did this, and we got a handful, but already with DFD, first one this year, we've got 6 people who've chosen it. So I'm always looking for ways to save the backers money. I take pride in that.
This makes so much sense though, because if you're gonna back more books, then you might as well, you know, get a nice little shipping thing there, because it's easier to ship them all together than it is to ship them separately.
Yeah, imagine paying $5 shipping like per book, and you're getting like 5 books a year. That's $25 in shipping. Like that's a lot of ice cream cones right there. Just saying.
It is, and it just keeps going up and up and up. So especially for our international backers, I just cringe to send them when we get these wonderful people who order 2-3 times a year, and you're just, and then so again, I try to come up with these ideas to save them a few bucks, because we really
that's like $100 in shipping a year.
Yeah, and again, it's the post office is making all the money off of it more than the book costs. So it's like, well, where can we meet at the middle ground? And it's less likely to be, you know, if I'm sending them 3 packages, more likely to be lost or damaged. So let me just send you 1, get it insured, and we'll get it over there.
Yep.
That's true. Yeah.
Solid plan.
Yeah.
So we already have 6
I'm
people who enjoyed that.
Getting some kind of book that doesn't show up.
And if again, if anybody is looking at our titles and like, hey, you know, I'm going to be back, or if you change your mind down the road, just email me. We'll work it out afterwards. But I'm glad at least 6 people. Again, I was kind of disappointed that not many people took advantage of it last year, but you know, doing it again, maybe we'll get people you know, seeing that it's going to be available regularly. And
I think as people get more used to seeing the concept, they're gonna jump in on it. But when something is new and scary, everyone's like, I don't know how that's gonna work, so they just don't do it.
Right. I get it.
But
we got a pretty busy schedule.
How are you doing this? Because this is already like loaded and ready to go.
Yeah. No, last year I had all of them ready before the year started.
Whoa.
And it didn't really end up with a ton more followers. So this year I kind of slowed the pace. So I'm kind of I try to get 1 launches, you got the next one ready. That one launches, get the next one ready. So at least, you know, you've got people in the pipeline as much as you can.
It's almost like you're your own comic company.
It also helps now that Kickstarter lets you
part-time.
That Kickstarter lets you do the pre-launch page before they approve the thing now, because they used to make you wait until they approved it. And then you do the pre-launch. Like I have the pre-launch page for Sacramony 8 up, and like I have nothing on there. I just have a pre-launch page.
Yeah, and I'll tell people a trick as well too. Like when you've done 20, or now this is 22, they approve it real quick. So you know, you prove you can do it. You don't miss any campaigns. We've never not delivered on a book, which is a nice feeling. So really, I can just paste the cover and some text and throw a couple tiers on there, and they approve it right away. So yeah, LCS, don't be fooled. Behind the scenes, it's not done at all. But I've got the link. I've got the basics. If you scroll down there, you can see the cover. You know, obviously I got the cover done early.
Well, I like when people put extra stuff in these like notify to launch things, because sometimes you're like just stuck here looking at this and you're like, that's nice.
Another great upgrade. And again, if you scroll down a little, they kind of let you do like a homepage, which again is a good upgrade, because the little link, you know, you want at least some information on the book, especially if it's a new product.
Yeah, it's like, what am I following? What is this?
Yeah, because they would give you like 100 characters before. You know, I know we need to be concise with our log lines, but give me some space to let a new reader kind of check it out. So yeah, so that'll be in March as soon as we wrap up DFD in a couple weeks here, and then we'll be on to CPS, then back to Drumsticks of Doom, the last part of that arc. And then our horror crime book Final Heist will end out the year around Halloween time.
That's a good schedule.
That's a packed schedule. I'm sleepy just looking at that schedule.
I feel like all you people are all like trying to kill yourselves. Ava, Matta, Will. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing?
I do the easy part. All I have to do is write and letter it. You know, the artists do the hard part. I just throw them some dumb words on a page and then let her, and then send it to print and all that stuff. But
that's the reality right there. The artists do the hard work. I just write words on a piece of paper.
That's it.
That's right.
Dude, man, I like when the words come easily. That's when I'm like, okay, yeah, I agree with you guys. When those words don't come easily, that's when you're sitting there going, this is hard.
That's when you're like, oh my God, maybe I should just quit. What's wrong with me? Why did I ever think this was going to work out for me? Like, what is wrong with me? I'm delusional.
And sometimes, I find that putting it on the schedule, moving forward with it, sometimes gets the gears flowing. Because I'll be honest, I try to finish the scripts for the next year by the end of the year, and I really was struggling with the end of CPS. I didn't know if I wanted it to end. I didn't know how I wanted it to end. There's just a lot that I was just having trouble taking that step. I had the first few pages written, and I just could not get it done. And then once I had Matta do the cover, and she turned it in, and it was like, okay, here go the juices. Now I'm tied to this, right? She's got a schedule next year. She's relying on me to deliver this. So
yeah, if you mess with my schedule, I'm breaking your kneecaps. I mean,
I mean, sometimes that helps you get going, right? Like I'm like, now there's someone else relying on me for this. Like it's not just me, taking my time forever. We got it. It's time to do it. It's not going to be any better if I wait till 2028. I have all the ideas there. I just got to unjumble them and put them on the page. Really, with great artists like our original artist, Bob Ornelas and Matta, when they turn in the pages, they write themselves. So, again, just kind of getting that cover going was enough to kind of get the sparks going. And we haven't revealed our variant cover, which we will soon, but that's already done too. So once our artist for that turned it in, I was like, okay, I got these two people. They want to see their stuff out there in the world, and Matta wants to get this script going. So
yes, I need to know how the story ends. We have a lot of loose ends to tie up.
It's the way you look at it. It's not that you're stuck. It's that the ending hasn't come to you yet. It's not that you're stuck.
Yeah, and I definitely respect those who kind of wait for it. You don't have to rush it if you don't. But for me, I feel like the crypt is calling my name at any second. I'm over the age of 40, so if I don't get these stories out soon, I'll be dead. So
fair. I'm gonna be 40 in a couple of weeks. So
I say all the time, rest in peace. Once I'm dead, they can go and look through my notes and they can make their own books. Okay.
I heard one person say she's under the age of 40 on this little stream going.
Call them out.
Young timers.
This is the over 40 club.
Oh goodness. My knees.
God, you guys are making me feel so old.
My knees, my back.
Oh man!
Listen, this seems like the 40-year-old podcast.
Relatable.
Charles, why don't you tell the people who you are, because you've been there quiet all.
Sorry for joining late. I'll start off with I'm not 40 yet, but soon, unfortunately. I've been working comics for around 15 years. Oh, that's a photo of me. I've written several books. 2 volumes of Ninja Express. It's a action comedy about a boy who joins his high school ninja club. My newest book, that's more manga inspired. My newest book's called Cuba Crusaders, about superheroes working 9-to-5 jobs, kind of like Office meets the Avengers. And actually, this just came in the mail today, the proof copy for Ninja Express Volume 3.
Nice.
I'm excited for that. So hopefully I don't find anything too bad in there, and I'll be able to order a full order of it and start selling that this year.
I was gonna say, what happened to John? Dude, I gotta say, I feel like you got like a lot of stuff you're planning to do. I know you kind of scaled back on it, but you are working on getting a panel type of thing done for May 10th, right?
May 10th, yes, and thanks to the Bit and Apple team for helping me on that. Yes, so I actually won the Brio Award. Bronx recognized its own in 2024 for Cuba Crusaders. And as part of accepting the grant, I'm going to be doing a public service event for accepting that money.